The goose on the loose.
Marcus, let's go. Josh Allen and the Bills, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Last night, the Jets' new brain trust was there. Pick it up. 8 seconds left in the first half. Buffalo's up 20-10. Marcus, how about the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary?
I mean, it's just, it's really distasteful as a defender, but he's so good at putting the ball in whatever location that
Maybe they
is.
should just do that every
Look at
play.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that should be a play.
Bro. Garrett Wilson made that
Yeah.
great job shielding out.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's a three-point game at halftime.
Our Buffalo was just trash.
It's tied at 20. This is a Braylon Allen touchdown here that gets called back on a holding by Tyron Smith. Is this a good call, Marcus?
It is holding, and it is going to sound crazy for me to say I don't like the call for where it is on the field. But the fact that Tyron was isolated in this situation and the ref was able to see it away from the muck, call the holding there.
One of 11 penalties. 2 plays later, Greg Zuerlein, who did everything he could to knock the goalpost down last night. He smashed him in twice, so we're still tied at 20. There comes the other one. What's that?
Steph missing.
Yeah, this is not Steph. Let's just be very clear. This is someone who shouldn't be shooting threes. Zuerlein misses 2. The Bills.
Windy. I was there.
My bad. I love that one.
windy.
My bad. Like, yeah, we know.
Wasn't windy for the Bills, though. Just a jet.
Well, Josh Allen is just so ridiculously good. This is Dalton Kincaid for 15 yards, and then he's going to hit the rookie Keon Coleman for more. What a throw. So they kick a field goal, the Bills do, to take a 23-20 lead. The Jets get it back. One final play before the 2-minute warning on a 3rd and 16. Absolutely everything goes wrong. Mike Williams runs the wrong route, then falls down, then gets hurt. Aaron Rodgers underthrows it, and it's intercepted. Outside of that, it was a great final play for the Jets, and the Bills win it by a score of 23-20. So much to talk about after the game. Here was Aaron.
This was a golden opportunity. Some games you win in the NFL, and some games you give away. This was a giveaway. I mean, we're terrible in the red zone. We missed 2 field goals. Didn't convert on a 2-minute drive. We had plenty of chances. Should have been a 30-plus point game on offense, and this shouldn't even be a conversation.
So, Marcus, we've been doing a little bit of this for an hour, a lot of this for an hour here, and so we'll get your thoughts. I'll give you quickly what mine were just off the very top for the fans just joining. Obviously, I'm known to be a fan of the Jets.
Imagine.
I thought the officiating was bad, but it was bad for both sides. I don't think that had anything to do with the outcome of the game. I thought the wind was a factor, but it was the same for both sides. I don't think that was the difference in the game. The difference in the game is the Jets just aren't that good. That's the unfortunate reality. The Bills are in their little dip. They're going to have Josh Allen for 15 years. They're going to be a contender for 15 years because he's the second best player in the NFL. But this is their little moment where they had to redo their cap and lose all their defense. This was the chance to strike. And the Jets, unfortunately, at least at this point, and I don't see why it's going to change, the Jets just aren't good enough to take advantage of it, unfortunately. That's my take. What's yours?
A lot of agreement as we sit here going into week 7 now. Like, we thought this would manifest, right? Aaron Rodgers would get this right. They'll figure it out offensively. And remember, guys, the issue that we talked about before the season coming in was where would this O-line, how long would it take this O-line to gel? They got multiple issues, though. And now you're in a situation, if you're the Jets, where you're trying to figure out culturally what's your identity going to be with new coaches and people being implemented into new jobs 6 days before a game got to be played with an individual opponent. Like, I would have hoped that they would have waited till after Buffalo to make a decision on Saleh. I don't care how much you thought Saleh in that building was a guy that you wanted to get out. This probably was the worst week to do it. And I think the team was affected by it as well. Talking to some guys, the Jets are not a good football team. They have enough talent to become good, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to gel this fast enough sitting here at 2-4 with what we're seeing going on in the AFC to get you in a position where you thought Aaron Rodgers was going to put you.
Right. But at least their quarterback is 41, so they have plenty of time to figure that out in the years to come.
It's their quarterback now.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like the Jets. Look.
Gee, I get like that about Dallas, so I get it.
No, we're going to talk about that later, just because it makes me feel a little bit better.
But that's the thing. Like you say identity, right? What is it?
What are they? You know what the Bills are, right? Like, they're banged up, and they're in their little roster dip. They're putting it back together, but, they have had stability. They have built a culture. They've gone through the tough times together and come out on the other side of it, so there's trust. Yep. We're in a close game, a tight game. We feel like we can make the plays to win. That a lot went wrong for the Jets on that last play. That was a heck of a play by the defensive back, and it was not the first fantastic play by a defensive back on that drive. Right. So, like, the Bills are out there doing what they need to do to win, and it comes from, you can't build a house if you don't have a foundation. 100%. And the Jets didn't pour a foundation. They just built the house, and they figured that Aaron Rodgers would come in and make it a really nice house. But the problem is, the wind starts blowing, and
ain't got no insulation.
The house falls over, or
way to stick to your metaphor. I like it. Commit to it.
It ain't no insulation.
Don't let it go.
It ain't no insulation, man. It's no insulation. It's cold as hell when it's cold. It's hot when it's hot.
I never built that.
The foundation is a good analogy, though, because I do think that what Marcus brought up is incredibly important, the offensive line. And that is, as much as I don't want to make Jeff happy, I know that before I pick any team to go anywhere, that's what I look at. Because there's no scheme if you can't block. There's no scheme out of it. There's the smartest coordinator and coach's most talented quarterback ever cannot fix a problem if they can't get protection and if they have holding on big plays. And that's part of the problem. Aaron Rodgers isn't great, and that's why they're losing so many of these games, I think, close games, is because someone always blows it, and it's never the same person.
That's right. But you do make me think of something. I feel like I have to ask this question because I'm just looking at the bottom of the screen. So I feel like we're doing it too. The reality is 3 consecutive weeks, the Jets have had the ball at the end of the game. Aaron Rodgers has had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win, and 3 consecutive weeks they didn't. And every single week there's a reason here and there's a reason there. At some point, Jeff, how much does this come down to the quarterback?
It comes down to him winning games. You bring a quarterback like that in to win you 4 games a year. He's 0 for 3 right now. As players, and realize it's not about schemes. It's not about all those things. It's about execution on our side. 11 penalties is execution. Missing field goals is execution. Throwing interceptions is execution. Not being able to stop a whatever back, third string, second string, whatever it is, for $150. Execution. At some point, execution falls down to players, and they aren't doing it.
After the game, Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to play you the soundbite here because I don't want to take up the time to do it, but he essentially called out Mike Williams for running the wrong route at the end. That's why I said that during but here's the point.
I feel you.
Can we show the video that I was just told about? Eric, roll the video of this last play. Because on the play that he throws the interception that seals their fate and essentially ends the game, watch Breece Hall. Just look how that guy is still running if he just throws him the ball, right? So he's blaming Mike Williams for running the wrong route. If he checks the ball off and this went crazy on social media last night. I mean, who's near Breece Hall?
Well, but I mean, it's 3rd and 16. You're checking it down to the running back 5. I mean, somebody.
But there's no one anywhere near him. I mean, my point is, you're throwing a pass to Mike Williams the 2nd consecutive week. You end the game by trying to throw the ball to Mike Williams.
That's not the issue.
What's the issue?
The issue is, why is Garrett Wilson not in a position to catch the football? I watched the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin in critical situations. They know where the ball's going. The Baltimore Ravens knew where it was going. And it was like, we gonna get it to our best player. There is my issue with this whole situation. Yeah, Mike probably ran the wrong route. Aaron absolutely underthrew the ball. But in these situations, when we start talking about building trust in the foundation, in Green Bay, this was Devontae Adams was getting the ball. Now, I don't know what the rapport is like with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, but everybody thought it was going to be a phenomenal marriage when they was going to concerts and all of that before they started playing together. This is one of those situations where I say no identity. You throw a go ball to Mike Williams, who's not your best wide receiver, on a critical down. That is a part of what the Jets are. And I'm telling you, I was looking at it last night. I was like, why would you not try to find a situation to get Garrett Wilson the ball in his hands in this situation right here?
Because you have a new coordinator that you just put in that position 6 days ago, and the other one wasn't doing it either. And so you don't have the answer to the questions on the test, and that's the problem. He's tripping. As he's going across, they're all covering Garrett Wilson. They got 3 sets of eyes on that cat, and then he falls. Johnson falls off for the interception. But again, it's the same basic play that he throws to Williams on the sideline.
sideline.
And Gilly is sitting there waiting, understanding it's going to be an underthrow. Stephon Gilmore for the interception the week before. It's bad ball. It's bad ball, and there ain't no answer in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's boiling down to that one play. You can be critical of a number of people on that one play. But looking at the past 3 weeks, it's really hard. And I made some criticism of the defense, which I think the defense could be better in certain situations. However, they scored 20 points last night, 17 the week before, and 9 the week before that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to need one play here or there. I'm going to need more production than that. And you can blame the refs. You can say we're getting unlucky. But that's a large enough sample size at this point to say, y'all just bad.
We talked about, we had the Baltimore Ravens back when Dilfer was a QB type defense.
That's what you need.
That's what you got to have, like literally.
The best kept secret in the entire league, by the way, is that Garrett Wilson actually is the most targeted receiver in the sport this year. I mean, they have thrown in the ball, just to your point, not ever in the game-winning situations or the ones that matter the most. You know, and the truth is, if I'm waking up this morning and I'm a fan of the Buffalo Bills, and there are a lot of them, you're thinking, how about us? You know what? I think your point is a very good one. The Buffalo Bills have, in my view, the second best player in the NFL. You have to give Mahomes his due. He's not having his best season, but he's clearly the best player in the NFL. Josh Allen is the second. This is your down year. Like, this is, you're going to go through these ups and downs because the salary cap mandates that. You kind of missed that window there of winning that championship when you had absolutely the opportunity to do it. This is the little dip. You're going to go back this way because you've got that guy. And the reality is you're going to win the division even in a year where you should be as bad as you've been at any other. What do you mean? Who is going to win that division if they're not going to win it?
You're not firing your coach after 5 games because you don't like the way the first 5 games. I mean, like, it's just a study in, like, how to build something versus, you know, the Jets trying to throw something together on the fly. And now you have a building. You talk about the building and, like, people worry about getting fired, right? Like, there's a lot of uncomfortable people in that building, and that's not a good foundation on which to build your house.
It started with offensive, defensive line, like trench talk.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, they saved Josh because of their offensive line. Offensive line has played well. That's the difference, right? As you find little areas of structure where when your receivers aren't great, Josh Allen can still find ways to make plays. There's too many issues with the Jets.
The other thing we learning too, bro, is that it's very delicate when you do this with one of these older quarterbacks. Everybody had Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and they wanted to use that as a sample size. Aaron Rodgers are not those guys.
Right.